So if we just log directly into SageCRM, I'm taking you to a home screen which is a simple dashboard view. It's just a temporary dashboard, just giving you an example of how this could be set up, perhaps with a list of people I'm working with or list of tasks on the right, some opportunities in the bottom. But this can be customised to suit your needs or that of the advisor. They may see a different one. But from this view I can obviously search to find any existing people within the system or opportunities or companies where of course the company is a client source. If I click on person, I can then search using any keyword or any part of the person's name or a secondary client name. If I type in Will and click find, obviously there are all the Will people. I can go into the record and see all the characteristics of that person. The summary just gives me the person's characteristics, date of birth, national insurance number, review month, that kind of thing, together with the address, phone number, and if they're associated with a company that's a referral source, a link to that company. The quick look tab gives me an overview of everything going on with that person. So in the top, communications are just details of letters or phone conversations or emails or meetings, etc. And then below that, opportunities and policies, a link to each one of the opportunities that we've been working on with that client. We've got notes tab where you can record narrative about the person. Communications is of course the detail of those interactions, and opportunities, the details of the sales opportunities or completed policies with those people. And then I've got different tabs to record addresses associated with that person, phone numbers, email addresses, and documents is where I could list any documents that I might want to attach to that person's record, and also a place where I could go to mail merge to send a particular document to them. So for example, if I want to send a letter to this person, I could click on Start Mail Merge over on the right. I've only just brought in one of the templates so far, but click on the template, it would show me the template. I can modify that if I need. Click on merge, and that would generate the template and attach it to the communications tab there. So if I click on continue, I can put in some narrative as well to describe the document if I want to, and of course it's going to pick up the date and the time and my name as the person that added it. Then I can go to the Documents tab of the person record, where I'll see the document attached. You can see I did this one earlier on, but just to give you an idea of how that would work, just click on the link and it will open up and show me the document that I've created, a mail merge document. So other templates will be created and added in the similar way. So that's the person screen. If I click on the company down here, ABC will take me through to the company, which is the client referral source. So in the company view, this is ABC Limited. I've got similar tabs across the top, but of course if I go to people, that will list all the people in the system that were referred by that company. If I go to opportunities and policies, that will list all the opportunities and policies that we've got going on with people that were referred by that company. Okay, so I'm logged on as an administrator now, so I get to see everything. If I go to the team CRM view, I can just have an overall view on everything going on in terms of opportunities and policies. So I've not imported them from Mac. These are just a few examples I've keyed in. And this is all the opportunities that are currently in progress, so open sales. But I can change the filtered view on the left and say show me all the won opportunities, so closed and won opportunities beyond the date, beyond the signing of the opportunity. Or I can look at all opportunities irrespective of whether they're closed and won business or something that we're working on. And you can see with the pipeline view in the top, I can separate them down into the various stages of progression. So at first meeting held, we've got 4 opportunities. So if I click on there to expand it, it reduces the view to just opportunities at the first meeting held stage, and you can see there's an individual forecasted fee amount for each one, which is totaled up here at the top, 7,341. So I can filter by looking at the status of the opportunity. I can filter by the stage. Using the top, the CRM thing at the top, it just shows me all the opportunities. But if I go from the team CRM view into the My CRM view, as an administrator, I can look at opportunities for a particular advisor. So on the My CRM view, let's see the opportunities for Robbie. I've only added one user account at the moment that's live for Robbie Hope, just as an example of an advisor. So these are Robbie Hope's open opportunities, and again I can filter by what's in progress, what business has been won, etc. The view that Robbie will see does not include this drop down to see other advisors' views. I'll show you his view in a minute. He will only see his own records. Similarly, he will only see not only his own opportunities, but also only his own contacts. So if I initiate a find logged on as the administrator and just leave all the find fields blank and click find, we'll see that in the system there are 1,810 people. But as I'll show you when we log in as Robbie, the view is a lot different. So if I just log off and log back on again as Robbie, so when Robbie logs in, simple dashboard view, but all he's got in terms of actions are he can find a record, he can create a new record, but he can only create a new person or an opportunity. He can't create a new company. He's got My CRM, but in the My CRM view, although he can go to the Opportunities tab and look at his own opportunities, there's no drop down, so he can't see any other advisors' opportunities, only his own. In My CRM, he can look at a dashboard, he can look at his calendar, he can look at shared documents. These are documents that might have been added centrally by Chris or Louise that are available for access by all advisors. And we can set up reports for Robbie to run based upon his own opportunities if we wish. But a very reduced feature set, very much reduced feature set. But he can record the details of a new person. So let's go through that process now. So new person. I'm just going to make up a new person called Bob Smithers, and when I click on enter person details, if there are any other records in the database, by the way, with a similar name, the system will prompt me and allow me to use an existing record rather than recreate. So Mr. Bob Smithers, and then a bunch of fields of information which don't necessarily all need to be populated at this time, only the ones that we've determined are mandatory. So if I just put in basic information here, so maybe I'll put in an email address, and maybe I'll put in a phone number, and then try to click save, the system will warn me that I can't save the record without populating the mandatory fields. Let's say the review month is September, it's transactional. So all the mandatory fields are highlighted here in red. So I've got national insurance number, of course, the account manager, Robbie, the review month, the service standard, just the basic stuff that we've got on your form that you provided us with. The company field here, client source, by the way, is where I can link the record for Bob Smithers directly to a referring company. So if I click on the spyglass, it would search all the companies available if there were any set up for Robbie to choose from, and allow me to link it from there. So having populated the mandatory fields, I can click save. I've created my person record. So having added the record for Bob, a workflow is enabled around the person entity. So the workflow is available here, first meeting held. So at this stage we haven't created an opportunity because it's not necessary, but we do want to record the meeting has been held. So first meeting held will change the status to first meeting held, but it does get the user to confirm that they have posted the meeting letter or email, sent the courtesy letter, and also it gets them to confirm or at least consider have they passed the letters of authority to administration. So it then changes the status and also records the detail in the communications tab of that contact that the meeting was held. So meeting, initial client meeting held, it's recording this as a completed communication. So just save that, and then we've changed the state of the contact to first meeting has been held, and there are now 3 other alternative options in the workflow. We can confirm that there are no needs identified with this client, or there are future needs, or advice is required. If there are future needs, I can click on future needs. Again, it will change the status. It will invite me to record the details of a future scheduled activity with that person. And then I can determine at what stage in the future we should contact them and who should contact them. And I can set ring alarms and reminders, etc. So future needs are identified. The status changed to future need. And then, of course, nothing will happen at that until the future need is alarm is generated. Now that the status of the contact is future need, the options available to me going forward, of course, would be to confirm that there are no further needs or identify at some future stage that advice is required. So whenever I enter the workflow of advice required, at that point it's necessary to create an opportunity. So as soon as I tick the button, it then generates a new opportunity against the person's record and requires me to collect information about that opportunity. Not all of this is mandatory, of course, at the early stage. It's just necessary for me to collect the forecast fee amount and also some indication of when we're going to get the deal. In fact, if I click on save, you'll see that the mandatory fields are highlighted to me. First of all is the opportunity for the primary client or the secondary client, what's the forecast fee amount, and also let's indicate when the deal might be closed by. So I'll save the opportunity. So I'm now returning to the person record. So this is the summary of the person, and you can see the status changed to advice required. There are no further workflows in the person because now the opportunity is taking over. I'm still in the person record for Bob Smithers here, but if I go to the Opportunities Policies tab, you'll see that an opportunity has been generated. So if I click on the little green arrow to the left of the opportunity, we can go into the detail of that opportunity. You can see the information that was recorded earlier on. And of course I can at any time click on change to add information to that manually, but more typically we'll be expecting the advisors to use the workflows to guide them through the process. So having created the opportunity, the next stage is generally first meeting held, but maybe we're going straight to case evaluation. In most cases though, first meeting held changes the status and invites me to put in a tracking note about the change in status. But importantly, when I click the save, changes the status to first meeting held and then makes available further workflows, including case evaluation, or at this stage, maybe after the first meeting, if the advice is declined, I can just change the state and close the opportunity there. Or maybe after the first meeting, there's a future need identified. Again, it sort of puts it on the back burner and allows me to schedule a reminder. Or maybe I close and win the business immediately. More likely, case evaluation is the next stage that we go to. It just changes the stage and invites me again to put in a tracking note so I can create a narrative to record the changing of the status and what happened and how I got to there. After the case evaluation, I'm likely to go to presentation meeting held. Now at this time it's necessary for me to capture information about the policy. So I've already got the fee amount, but I can reconfirm the fee amount or change it. I need to collect the plan type, the provider name, what the premium would be, is it a monthly, annually, what's the frequency, and any other important information that we need to gather as part of the presentation meeting process. So click save. Again, the stage is updated. And also this next step is directing me to record a history of that meeting. So this will appear in the communication tab of the company, of the customer, and also of the opportunity. So there's a record of that meeting having taken place. Let's say it took place yesterday afternoon at 4 p.m. And I can put some detail in there as well if I want to. So meeting held. So the status, the stage of the opportunity is updated. It's now in the presentation meeting stage, and of course from there we'd expect either the advice to be declined ultimately, a future need identified, or hopefully closed and won. So again, closed and won changes the stage, invites me to put in a tracking note, converts the status to won, so this will impact upon reports and pipeline views, etc. And it also then goes on to guide me through the process of creating an annual review. So you can see immediately that the annual review is scheduled for a year after today, 2014. I can put in any notes and amend that if I wish, but otherwise it's just a quick save to confirm that the opportunity is closed and won and the review date is scheduled. So here I am back on the summary of the opportunity, and you can see I can go through the tabs there. I can look in communications at details of past communications, or future communications scheduled with this person. So the recurring review, there's a documents tab there that I can affix documents, perhaps copies of the policy documents if I want to, and so on and so forth. Tracking, by the way, is where I can go in and view all those little scribbles, those notes I made as I went through the process of nurturing the opportunity.